What up, world? Established Rich coming right back at you. Tonight, we got to get into a topic that has no business being a debate in 2025. But Ja Rule went on a podcast and made it one anyway. He said his music has aged better than 50 Cent's. And that statement had the culture looking around like we missed something. And that's fine. Every artist should feel proud of their work. But how you feel inside doesn't overpower how the people respond outside. And outside, the world still moves to 50 Cent like it's 2003. Outside, entire arenas still show up and sing word for word. That is what aging well really means. Not a feeling, but a fact.
Somewhat, in your late 30s, early 40s, and you came up in 2003 and you saw the rise of Carmelo Anthony was always, tied to LeBron James in the 2003 class and everybody in there.
Yeah.
When you come up with Ja Rule, you tie him to, 50 Cent and, and all these other things and the competition he had with him.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's always like, you had to be a 50 guy or a Ja guy. You had to be a mellow guy or a Bron guy. Right?
But you don't, though. You don't, though.
I'm saying the way fans,
I know how fans see it, but you really don't. And at the end of the day, you got to kind of love both, or you got to kind of respect both. You don't got to love both. You got to respect both. You know what I'm saying? You got to appreciate both. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Even in rap competitions and battles and beefs and shit like that, I have a very different take on it than everybody does. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be my take. You know what I'm saying? He has a take on it. That what his take is. My take is unpopular opinion to everybody, but I feel like I was the better rapper. I felt like I made the better records. I feel like my records aged better still. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel inside. I don't know how everybody else feels.
My man, my man Tax Stone, the viral clip when he came in and he said, "Not really."
Yeah. Tax is Tax. Right, he feels how he feels or whatever, but people can feel that.
Right.
The reality is, it's whatever you want it to be at the end of the day, because it's all entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So I'm, until it's not.
I think most same people like both. That's what I'm saying. I think most same people have grown to be like, I like both of these guys. Yeah. Like they both made music that made my childhood.
You gotta like both.
Yes. Yeah,
because one is an imitation of the other.
50 Cent can fly to any country in the world and perform the same songs he made 20 years ago. That is not normal. That is a level of timeless most artists will never know. Cities all over Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa. They packed out arenas with people who don't even speak English fluently, but they know in the club word for word. That's not a regular hit. That is a cultural landmark. Ja Rule can say his music aged well, and some of his records did. No one is taking away his run, and no one is disrespecting his era. But let's not confuse a hot era with a timeless legacy. The two are not the same, not even close. Ja Rule had radio on lock for a while. He had hits with Ashanti. He had songs that defined the moment. But a moment is not forever. A moment is not multi-generational. A moment is not the same as music that still shakes buildings decades later. 50 Cent's music didn't just age. It evolved into anthems new generations have discovered without being told to. Kids who were not even born when Get Rich or Die Tryin came out. That is what impact looks like. A song that outlives an artist's prime. A song that outlives the era. A song that outlives the radio. And 50 Cent has multiple songs like that. Not one, not two, multiple. In the Club still gets played like a holiday anthem. What Up Gangsta still hits like pure adrenaline. And don't get me started on Many Men. That might be one of the most time-proven songs in rap history. That record didn't age. It became stronger. It became a blueprint, a theme song. And that's another thing Ja Rule can't claim. Influence. 50 Cent influenced an entire generation of artists. The delivery, the tone, the confidence, the streets meet melody structure. That's 50's blueprint. That's why you still hear his DNA in new artists today, even if they don't know where the sound came from. That's what real musical evolution looks like. Ja Rule's impact was there, but it wasn't built to last. His style was from the 2000s, and it stayed in the 2000s. It didn't grow with the times. The gravel voice singing he used to do, back then it worked. But today, it'll sound like somebody trying to hum with sand in their throat. Styles matter when you talk about aging. And 50's style was raw, clean, powerful, and built to survive time. Ja Rule's style was built for the moment, not for the future. But here's the most important point of all. If your music aged better, you should be able to tour with it. Not festivals, not throwback shows, an arena tour with your name on it. And Ja Rule can't do that. He can do casinos, he can do state fairs, he can do throwback lineups with other 2000s artists, but a 20,000 seat arena by himself? Absolutely not. But 50 can still do a world tour off songs he made when Bush was president. And he's doing it, and they're selling out because people don't buy tickets for nostalgia. They buy them for classics. And classics are songs that sound important 20 years later. And that is the difference. That is why the argument is not a real argument. That is why the culture knows exactly whose music aged better. Look, you can feel however you want to feel. That's human. But you can't rewrite what the world is still responding to. And the world is responding to 50. They still streaming, they still work out to him, they still rap along, they still pack arenas for him. The impact is not debatable. The legacy is not debatable. 50's music aged like a classic record collection. Ja Rule's music aged like a good memory. Fun to look back on, but not demanding the same respect. And that's the honest truth. Not out of hate, but out of what time has revealed. So what y'all think? Did 50's music age better or did Ja Rule's? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, establish rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.